Okay, welcome to DVD 2 attacks. The difference between the combatives that we're practicing here and any other fighting art is that in cultural fighting arts and combative sport, you're taught to react to a very specific attack, whether it's somebody punching you, whether it's somebody kicking you, whatever else. In real life, a fight's a mess, and you do not have the freedom or the liberty or even the time to practice against every single specific attacks. Therefore, when using gross motor skills in a fear-induced state, you are not going to recognize that the man is throwing a punch at you, a kick is trying to throw you, or whatever else. So it's very important that you learn non-specific attack defenses. Conveniently, there's really only 8 directions of attack that somebody can get you from. All right, front is 1, number 2 is back, number 3 is left, number 4 is right, number 5 is left front corner, number 6 is right front corner, number 7 is back left corner, number 8 is back right corner. That's all there is. The important thing for you to realize is that even though somebody is attacking you from these directions, is that you do not have to, there are no rules and regulations or laws that say you have to do something. And the most natural instinct is to either run or fight. So the trick is to take advantage of those by stepping off line. Okay, stepping off line from attack. Bijou, why don't you come back out here? Okay. Whether it's any of these 8 directions, again, 1, 2, get over here, 3, just walk around me, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, you can just stay right there, is that somebody coming in on you, you stepping out and getting back into your stance, okay, or from the front, come on in, all right, stepping off line and you taking the angle, all right, it satisfies both your fight or flight reflex, okay, is that worst case scenario, somebody's coming at you and you step off line, that's your flight. If you need to, you can run, okay. Realistically, it's not really such a good idea. You need to take that attacker out, and which is why then you engage the fight mechanism, which we're going to talk about right now. When most people learn something, they usually use the, especially kinesthetic movements skills, they learn the crawl, walk, run analogy, is that you have to do stuff very, very slow at first, especially just throw a punch, all right? So if you're doing any sort of martial art, cultural fighting arts, or even a combat sport, throw the punch, all right? All right? You have to start everything very slowly, just because complex motor movements versus complex motor movements are, well, complex and very difficult to learn. The best thing about learning gross motor movement fighting skills is that you can completely bypass the crawl, walk, run process. You can actually start with walk, go to run, and finish with sprint. Because gross motor movements, since not using specific defenses per moves, using very natural gross motor skills to drive back into your opponent, are natural. And you already know how to do them. We talked about you already know how to raise your arm, you already know how to drop it, manipulating that into an edge of hand, you already know how to put your arm out, manipulating that into a finger dart or tiger claw, very naturally. You know how to lift your leg into a whip kick. Okay, you already know these moves. There's no point in wasting time and saying, well, how do I figure this out? All right, how do I figure out how to do the edge of hand? How do I, it doesn't matter because there's no wrong answer. There is a wrong answer if you're learning to throw a punch, everything from coming in, the target area, where I need to hit, if I need to turn my fist, how to engage my hips, okay? complex motor movement, gross motor movement, doesn't matter. You can completely bypass that. One of the most useful, we already covered the 8 directions, but one of the most useful ways to teach somebody who's never had any sort of fighting experience or martial arts experience, or even those who are still beginners, is to use that exact number system. And the reason being is that when people come into a martial arts school, or they watch a martial arts video, or they even think about fighting, it automatically creates a mental block because it drives them way back into that fight or flight response. Everything having to do with fear for their life, fear of humiliation, ego, testosterone for guys, okay, fear, real physical fear for themselves, for women, you know, and that becomes a ultimate mental block. When you use the actual numbers of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, what that does is it associates the movements of self-defense or fighting with something that's meaningless. That's just a number, right? Numbers are not associated with anything in your mind with anything more than a sequence, okay? And talking and dovetailing sequences together is exactly what self-defense is about, right? So the way we practice is that when we call out the number 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the number you respond to. You don't respond to whatever they're doing. If BJ's throwing a punch, right, I'm not going to, after I say 1, it doesn't matter if he's throwing a punch, doesn't matter whether he's doing a double leg takedown, right, doesn't matter if he's throwing a kick, doesn't matter if he's trying to headbutt me, you know, or anything. It's still the same response. And because of that association to a number, all I have to remember is that I have to drive back forward. And that's it. 1 is go back into that attacker. 2 is either, if the attacker's in the front, blade yourself, defend yourself that way, or drive back into your attacker. It's very simple. 3 and 4, to the left and right, come on in, okay? So 3, all right, is just me stepping off line, getting out of the way. All right, 4, nope, come over here. Just drive, we'll just do attacker in front, and attacker in front for first. Come straight in. 4, me stepping off line again. All right, it doesn't matter what he's doing. All right, but what matters to me, now for you guys who are experienced, you don't really have to use the number system because you have other tools at your disposal. You aren't easily frightened because you have been conditioned to see somebody attack. You still should not practice for self-defense specific attack defenses, but the number system for you guys when teaching somebody else, your wife, your girlfriend, or girls are watching this, your husband, boyfriend, your kids, you know, whoever you're teaching to, students, is I highly recommend using the 1 through 8 number system. Okay, now we're getting into the real meat of the course, which is actually defending yourself against attacks. When training with someone, gross motor movements are so random and so chaotic that it's very, very, very easy to hurt your training partner, which is why it's important to either practice in air, to practice on the heavy bag, or if you're practicing with a training partner, to use pads. Okay, we rarely, except for in the most advanced classes that we where people have been doing this for so long, and we do random assault and stuff like that, where we allow people to interact with one another using gross motor skills to hit each other without pads. This is just a standard tie pad. Pretty much pick them up at any martial arts school store. It's not a big deal. And the other thing is a dummy head somebody, I guess, made for us. Sometimes I just walk in here and Damien has acquired wonderful, wonderful toys. So why don't we use the dummy head for right now? Okay, kick that other thing out of there. Okay, so we already determined that their attacks can only come from 8 directions. So let's learn to defend ourselves from those 8 directions. All right. This is just 8 direction stepping. Okay. This is, again, you can use a number system. I'm not going to call out the number 1 to myself, so you can be entertained. But at home, again, when practicing, you should think number 1 is front, number 2 is back, number 3 is left, number 4 is right, number 5 is left front corner, number 6 is right front corner, number 7 is back left corner, number 8 is back right corner. Okay? Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is you have one attacker in front, whether you are standing, minding your own business, or whatever else. Somebody, you realize that somebody's there. Part of this is always awareness, but we'll get into that a whole nother time. It's a whole nother discussion. But what to do when your aggressor is coming at you from the front. All of these should be standing, all right, in your stance. Keep your hands above wherever they are. You can start like this. You can start like this. Okay. The first movement is simply when they walk in, just come in slow. Okay. Is front kick, tiger claw. Okay. There's some more, but I wanted to stop right here for a second. All right. After you do your front whip kick, okay, before your foot hits the ground is when you launch your tiger claw. What this is going to do is going to use all the momentum of your body to put into this tiger claw straight forward. Okay. So whip kick, tiger claw, edge of hand, chin jab. Pretty simple. No big deal. Okay. If you are suddenly surprised, there's some sort of close, you need to create some distance. Okay. You need to go to number 2. Okay. It's very similar. You stay there. Still attackers in front. All right. It's blading the body. We've done this before. Finger dart, whip kick, edge of hand, chin jab. Okay. Number 3 is to come in. Okay. You're going to step to the side. You're going to have to step through. Okay. Number 3, okay, is to the left side. So when your attacker comes through, all you're going to do is step offline. We've already talked about doing this. Come on through, step off, whip kick, edge of hand, all right, and a tiger claw. The tiger claw, when you're on the side of somebody, right, since you can't drive them forward, is a twisting corkscrew. Okay, this is, we talked about before about doing corkscrew movements as being complex motor movements, but since you are already in a bladed stance, it's your natural reaction. Just think about driving your hand as far through their face as possible, and your arm automatically corkscrews. Corkscrew. Okay, tiger claw. Let's do that one more time. Okay, number 3. Okay, step off line, whip kick, edge of hand, tiger claw. Okay, number 4. Okay, whip kick, edge of hand, tiger claw. Same thing, both sides. Okay, front left and front right corner are you always stay coming straight. Front left and front right corner are just a tad different, just because of the fact that step in over here. Okay, is that when you step to the front corner, there's not the same distance as there is from number 3. All right, so if you're stepping to number 5, okay, there's not that much distance between the two of you. Okay, the reason you might do this, who knows? Okay, there can be anything. There can be a wall right here. There can be your car. Okay, and that's the whole point of all this, is that it doesn't matter, right? Whichever way you move back into them, left, right, front corner, it's all the same stuff. It all still works. So, front corner moves. All right, number 5. Okay, when you step off line to the number 5, all right, it is a whip kick. All right, not a round kick. All right, it's a whip kick, but twisted. Okay, it's not your side whip kick, it's not your front. Just think of it as with your rear leg, you need to front whip kick this man, all right? And whether it's in the gut, in the groin, in the shin, in the ankle, whatever you can do, it doesn't matter. It's going to stop the momentum. And then it's front, edge of hand, tiger claw. Front right is the same exact thing. Okay? Go ahead. All right? Whip kick, edge of hand, tiger claw. Not very complex. All right, so far we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're going to do 7 and 8, all right? Which are, you need to create some real distance between you and your opponent, all right? Yes, this is great, but when you are like, for number 2, when you're bladed, okay, it might not be convenient. You might not. There might be a wall right behind you, okay? So number 7 is stepping offline, back, okay? That's all it is, right? When you move to these front corners, okay, or even to the side, it's very important that your footwork, it's actually harder to think about it than it is to do, because you naturally move, all right? If I need to move to the right, all right, which of my feet is going to move first? It's not going to be some sort of ninja cat cross dance, okay? It's going to be that, hey, I need to move to the right, right, left, move to the left, left, right, okay? If I need to move to the left front corner, all right, which foot is going to move first anyway? Left, right. I need to move to the back, right, left. Okay, so it's not, it's when you think about it, it's much harder than it is to do it. All right, but just be aware that the side that you're moving to, whether it's front corner, back corner, sides, right, that's the foot that moves first. Otherwise, you are not creating any distance. This is not creating any distance from my attacker. Okay, 1, 2. This is creating distance from the attacker. Okay, so let's do number 7. 1, 2, whip kick, tiger claw, edge of hand, chin jab. Do this other way. Number 8. Whip kick, edge of hand, chin jab. Okay, one more time. Let's do it. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay? If you don't add anything in, you take something out, doesn't matter. I did what I did on the left side. I did tiger claw, edge of hand. On the right side, I did edge of hand. Okay, it doesn't matter. It's all the same. It's gross motor, whatever happens. If the person's face is in front of you, okay, do tiger claw. If there's a face on the side of you, do edge of hand. There's nothing wrong. The only wrong thing to do is stop. All right, so let's go through all of them. Okay, number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. Number 8. There you go. Pretty easy. All right, next we're going to do the same exact methods of attack, but from multiple angles. All right, the first time what we did is when your attacker is in front of you. All right, when you see them, you know it's coming. All right, depending on your environment, you have to move out of the way and do what we just talked about. Multiple angles is not multiple attackers. You're not going to be able to dispatch man in front, man to the left, man to the right, man behind you. That is complete Hollywood myth. It just does not happen. Your best bet in any sort of multiple attacker or assailant is to either drive through your attacker or escape to a known area. Do not believe in the junk you see on YouTube. All right.
Except for Carl's.
Yeah. Multiple angles are, again, the same 8 directions, okay? Number 1, it's almost identical to what we just did, except for because the person winds up, for number 2, winds up in back of you, it's somebody behind you, attacker coming at you from behind. Right? Obviously, the movements are a little different. even 5 and 6 on the left and right hand corners, that's fine, stay right there, all right, are still a little different just because of the fact that you are not moving into them, they are moving into you. That's really the main difference. Okay, so let's start. Number 1 is the same exact move we did before. Come on in, whip kick, tiger claw, edge of hand, chin jab. Okay, number 2, you always stay where you are, your attacker always moves. Okay? 2 is just a whip kick to the back. It can be as simple. If you don't have flexibility, it doesn't matter. This stuff is not made for that. You should be able to do this whether you are on crutches, okay? Whether you are in a wheelchair, all right? Whether you're handicapped, it doesn't matter, all right? You do what you can, and you manipulate the gross motor movements to whatever you're able to do, all right? So your back whip kick, okay, if you are a trained martial artist and you're not afraid, you can throw a back kick, all right? But this is literally just lifting your leg up to stop the attack, okay? Edge of hand, chin jab. So one more time. Stay back there for number 2. Number 2. Okay. Number 3. Right on my left side. Okay. Go ahead. Whip kick to the side. Edge of hand, chin jab. To the right, come over this way, we'll face the camera. Okay. Come this way. Okay. Same exact movement for number 4. Come on in. Whip kick, edge of hand, chin jab. So his body was there, we do a post. Let's do that again. Drop the head, and we'll do it very slow, just to show them what all this actually looks like. All right. This is number 5 to my right side. I'm in my stance. I'm here talking at the bar, talking to somebody. Somebody comes up from the side. Boom, whip kick. That you really thought I was going to hit you. That's exactly, that reaction is exactly what you're looking for. Boom, edge of hand, chin jab. The interesting thing here, and a question we get a lot about is, put up your dukes and keep them up there, is this edge of hand. How is it going to get through the defense? Well, that's the beauty of it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to get through the defense. You just chop right through the defense and get to what you need to do. Because you're using gross motor movements and parts of your body that are either very, very hard, right? Your elbow, side of your hand, your forearm here, you put up your dukes, okay? You hurting yourself, not really an issue. You hurting them, right? From here, put it up. You chopping through, okay? Yeah, you're going to hurt them, okay? So don't worry so much about, well, hey, my edge of hand's not going to make it through. Even a tiger claw, put that up. Even a tiger claw from here, all right? If it doesn't go through the defense, it doesn't matter. It's still pushing them back into it. And then you can chop it down to do whatever you need to do. All right, so we went off on a little bit of tangent there, but number 5, okay, go ahead. Okay, boom. Okay, grab the head. Okay, let's come back up here. Okay, number 6 to the left-hand corner. All right, this is a little different because since we're not moving into them or sidestepping out of the way, they're just coming at us from multiple angle. There we go. Once you come, step from there. Yeah, you can come a little closer than that. All right, go ahead. It's whip kick to the front, tiger claw, edge of hand, chin jab. The same exact movement as if somebody was straight up in front of you. All right, same thing from number 7. Oh, I'm sorry, number 6. Okay. Right? Whip kick from the foot, the same side that they're coming from. Whip kick, tiger claw, edge of hand, chin jab. All right, number 7. Okay. Number 7, you're not doing, again, you're not moving into them before when the attacker, you were moving to that, right? It doesn't matter, separate movement, but the same. Come on in. Okay? Whip kick, edge of hand, tiger claw. Number 8. whip kick, edge of hand, tiger claw. So that's it. I mean, those are there's only 8 directions of attacks. All right, it doesn't matter. Come back up here. Drop the head. Yeah, bring the head with you. All right. It doesn't matter if, in fact, drop the head real quick. Why don't we do something real? That's fine. Okay. If they're throwing a punch, okay, it's the same movement. Go ahead. Boom. Okay. Doesn't matter whether I blocked it, hit it. I wasn't trying to do anything except for put my hand in front of my face into his. Just because this happened is completely random, right? But now that I can drive forward, edge of hand, chin jab, okay? Same thing if the man is squared up on you and he takes even one step forward to throw a good right cross or something like that. Doesn't matter. Go ahead. Throw it. Boom, okay? If you are sticking your hand out in their face, all right, throw it. Doesn't matter. Go ahead. All right. If you're going to the side and moving offline, go ahead. Throw it. All right. If you're coming to the front, whip kicking. All right. If you are, go ahead. All right. Coming back here and doing it, doesn't matter. If he is behind you when we're doing the multiple angles, okay, boom, doesn't matter. You do not wait for the man. Okay. It's very difficult. In today's civilized world that is very lawyer happy, to fully be able to guess, and this is a problem for police officers also, all right, to guess whether this man standing in front of me is going to try to punch me in the face, going to try to shoot me, going to try to stab me, or we're actually having a real conversation. And by focusing on these non-specific attack defenses is that, yes, sure, if that person makes a wrong movement, you can step offline, you can drive to the side. But also, if you need to initiate the attack, if this person acts a little funny, they start going for anything, boom, you go right in. All right? These are offensive moves. Just because we are moving offline, all right, does not mean that we're being defensive. We are the aggressor. We are taking the aggression back to the attacker. And that is the whole point of all these attack defenses.